Archangel Michael says, your miracle just arrived, but this is your final warning. If you ignore this, the blessing will be taken back, my beloved child. Do not take this message lightly. This moment isn't a mistake, it's not random, nor mere coincidence. You've been drawn here by a divine thread, and heaven is observing every second. A mighty force was set loose under your name, just recently. And when it happened, Archangel Michael stood watch. Yes, your miracle has been released, but there's more, child, there's a layer beneath it, something veiled. If you walk away before discovering it, you'll never uncover what was meant to be yours. You've felt that tug, haven't you, that odd stirring today, that gentle press in your chest, like something was trying to reach you from above. Perhaps you brushed it off, once, maybe twice, but not now. Not this time. This message holds a divine resonance, that your spirit knows. Archangel Michael is reaching for you, he's speaking into your soul this very second, and the reason is deeply urgent. Heaven did more than approve your miracle, they sealed it with a hidden message, one you weren't meant to overlook. While the world slept last night, heaven remained wide awake. In a sacred place, a scroll was opened in the presence of God. Your name was mentioned aloud by an angel, and precisely at 3:02 a.m., something shifted. Michael stepped forward and declared, this child has endured enough, release it now. God gave a nod, yet added gently, place a message within, let's see if they find it. That message is what you're holding now. But it's fading. Every second you linger, brings you closer to the truth, but if you leave, the message dissolves. Your miracle was dispatched, yes, but it isn't whole, until you've received what's hidden within. You pleaded for this. You've cried into your pillow, whispering desperate words into the night, asking heaven to listen. At times you wondered if anyone heard, Michael did. He listened, even when your voice failed you. He saw the weight on your heart. And he acted. He rushed to God, and fought on your behalf. So now I ask, after all that, would you really turn your back, on a message divinely embedded in your miracle? Let me reveal something, that was meant to remain unseen. This miracle wasn't scheduled for this moment. It was hindered, held back. Because someone you placed trust in, unknowingly blocked its path. But Michael didn't give up, he shattered the delay with divine force. And when the release finally came last night, a curious thing occurred. The candle bearing your name flickered twice. Michael took a breath. That flicker was a sign. It meant hidden truth discovered. Something from long ago, something unresolved, is entangled with this miracle. That's why this message holds more weight than anything you've heard before. And hear this, the mystery isn't a thing, it's a revelation. A truth is coming your way, in the next few days. It will shift everything, but if you don't stay for this message, you'll miss the lens through which it makes sense. This message is the key, the decoder, the signal that prepares your soul for what's next. You may feel chills as these words touch you, that's not your body reacting, it's your spirit awakening. Part of your soul already recognizes the truth, heaven is now bringing back to your memory. Why was this all hidden? Because not everyone is chosen to receive this level of truth. Only the one who listens fully, the one who stays, the one hungry enough to hear what heaven has longed to say. That's you. You're still here. That's why the angels lean in, that's why Michael watches with quiet hope. You're the one who can fulfill what began in the realm above last night. Before we move forward, Michael has one plea: don't leave early. You've overlooked too many signs before, but this one burns with heavenly fire. It was sealed in gold. If you exit before the final word, your miracle may arrive, but you'll miss its purpose. And that's what weighs heaviest on Michael's heart. So please, my beloved spark of light, listen with all your heart. Before I reveal what comes next, I ask you one thing: don't lose this message. Let it remain. Tap subscribe and let divine truth remain near. The heavens are counting the faithful, be among them. Breathe in, because the words to come will make sense of all you've carried. This miracle, yes, is about what you're about to receive. But it's even more about the person you're becoming through it. Heaven isn't handing this to you to reward who you were, they're entrusting it to who you're rising into. They witnessed your endurance, your faith in secret moments, your prayers whispered with nothing left. When everyone else turned away, you stayed soft, you kept going. That's when your name echoed in heaven's chambers. And now, it's etched into a sacred scroll, eternal, unmovable. Yet know this: your miracle comes with a decision. Step into the version of yourself that heaven confirmed last night, or slide back into the version that nearly broke you. There is no neutral anymore. That's why this message feels like fire. That's why Michael cries out now, open this. Because miracles without clarity are like treasure maps with no legend, and heaven didn't forge this moment to watch you get lost again. One last truth: Michael wished your miracle would be loud, undeniable. But God said, let it come quiet, like a secret that only faith can hear. So you won't see grand signs, no thunder, no fireworks. You'll feel something shift. Maybe a sudden message, a thought, a door you thought was sealed, may gently open. And you must pay attention, don't brush aside the subtle signs. That's where your miracle lives, in the quiet corners, in the moments almost missed. Child, I must share what's next, but I need you open when I do. Because once you hear it, you won't ever be the same again. Don't go back to old ways, to patterns that drained you, to people who refuse to grow with you. What you've received tonight is too sacred to be mixed with what once broke you. You don't need to re-enter rooms where your spirit was silenced. You don't need to reopen conversations that left your heart bruised. The old door is closed, sealed by something divine, and what's ahead of you is far greater than what's behind. Yes, you'll be tempted. The past may call out to you. But remember this truth: just because it's familiar, doesn't mean it's safe. You have been chosen to carry light, not just for yourself, but for others too. And light cannot afford to keep company with what dims it. You must protect the glow that has been ignited within you tonight. You must speak life over it, every morning, every night. You must choose again and again to believe that what was spoken over your soul is more real than what fear ever told you. Archangel Michael says, you are not returning to who you were, you are becoming who you were born to be. So walk forward now, not with fear, but with reverence. With a holy boldness in your chest, and a stillness in your spirit that says, I know who walks with me. Because heaven is not only watching, it is walking with you, surrounding you, covering you in ways unseen. And while you sleep tonight, a shift will continue. Angels will stand guard at your windows, your doors, your heart. They'll minister to you in dreams. And what used to haunt you in the night, will now flee in the presence of the divine. There's something powerful happening, in the silence that follows this message. Can you feel it? That tingling on your skin, that calm rising in your chest. That's not just emotion, that's energy realigning. That's your spirit remembering the language of heaven. God says, this alignment was always meant for you. This timing was not a mistake. Everything you lost, made space for what I'm sending. Everything you endured, made you strong enough to receive what's next. This next season won't require your striving, only your surrender. You don't have to force what's meant for you. You only need to stay in flow, stay in faith, and stay in alignment with what feels holy, what feels peaceful, what feels pure. The more you do, the louder your intuition will become. And that voice, that sacred whisper inside, will start to sound a lot like heaven itself. You've been asking for signs, here's one. You didn't find this message by accident, it was divinely orchestrated. Heaven sent it ahead of a moment that could have derailed you. But now you're awake, now you're aware, now you're prepared. And listen, beloved soul, this preparation isn't just for blessings, it's for purpose. You are being positioned for something bigger. And you don't need to know all the details yet. You just need to know that your name has been spoken in rooms of light. Your soul's mission is now activated, and heaven is working to place you, exactly where your voice, your gifts, your heart are needed most. Archangel Michael reminds you, protection surrounds you, not because of fear, but because of importance. You are needed. Your presence on earth at this time is not random, it's revolutionary. Every prayer you whispered in pain, every tear you cried in silence, none of it was wasted. It all seeded the garden you're about to walk through. You are entering into a season of supernatural clarity. The fog is lifting, the confusion is breaking, the noise is quieting, and the divine plan is unfolding, step by step. There will be moments when doubt tries to return, moments when the world feels heavy again. But you will not be shaken like before. Why? Because you have touched truth now. You've tasted the real, and nothing counterfeit will satisfy you anymore. That alone is your compass, that alone is your power. So when others question your peace, when they don't understand your shift, when they ask, what changed? You don't need to explain. Just smile and say, I remembered who I am. And that will be enough. You don't need to convince anyone of your light. Your energy will speak it, before your words ever could. Your silence will carry more authority than your past ever did. And as you begin to notice your life shifting, conversations deepening, connections aligning, opportunities appearing, don't let imposter syndrome steal your moment. You belong here. You were always meant to rise. God says, this is not a fluke, this is fulfillment. There's more. Heaven wants you to know that generational chains are breaking because of you. Someone in your lineage cried out for freedom, and you were born as the answer. You are the turning point in your bloodline. The one who said, "It ends with me," and meant it. And because you've stayed the course, healing is spreading like fire, through your family line, backwards and forward. And the pain, the heaviness, it wasn't just yours. You were carrying wounds passed down, unspoken traumas, silent grief. But no more. The cycle stops here. Archangel Michael declares it, this soul is now protected, this home is now cleared, this legacy is now rewritten. You are not cursed, you are crowned. Not forgotten, but favored. Not abandoned, but anointed. What felt like abandonment, was heaven's redirection. What felt like delay, was divine protection. What felt like loneliness, was preparation for deeper intimacy with the divine. Tonight the universe conspired, for you to receive a sacred activation. Your heart said yes, your soul answered the call. And now the atmosphere around your life will never be the same. Things will fall away, not to hurt you, but to make room. People will exit, not to punish you, but because they can't breathe in this new altitude you're rising into. Let them go. And bless them as they leave. Not everyone can follow where God is leading you. And the ones who do, you'll know them. They'll feel like light, they'll sound like truth, they'll walk with the same fire. You won't have to beg to be understood anymore. You won't have to shrink yourself to fit anymore. This is your emergence, your rising, your rebirth. So take this moment, and let it wash over you. Let it baptize every tired piece of you, in fresh hope. Let it speak to the parts you thought were too far gone. Let it breathe into the corners of your soul that haven't felt light in years. You're not too late, you're right on time. And while the world may keep spinning fast and loud, don't be afraid to move differently now. To pause, to protect your peace, to prioritize what feels sacred. That's how you keep this fire alive, that's how you honor what heaven gave you tonight. You did not stumble upon this message, you were guided. And if you've read this far, it's because your soul recognized something ancient and familiar, in these words. A voice it once knew, a promise it once made, a light it never forgot. That light is back now, burning, glowing, guiding you home. So keep your heart open as you rest, because even in your sleep, heaven is active. What your hands cannot reach, the hands of angels will. What your voice cannot express, your soul has already whispered, and it has been heard. The veil between you and the miraculous is not just thinning, it is dissolving. Answers are coming, not because you chased them, but because you trusted long enough for them to find you. Archangel Michael is standing guard still, sword drawn, eyes fixed, not just on the threats you see, but the ones you don't. He has already intercepted what the enemy tried to send. The chaos that didn't reach your doorstep, that was divine interception. The betrayal that failed to break you, that was protection in disguise. You've been shielded from more than you know. You've been spared things that your spirit would have collapsed under. That's grace, that's God's mercy, that's why you're still here. And God says, you haven't lost time, you've gained clarity. You haven't fallen behind, you've been repositioned. What felt like a pause, was really preparation. And now I'm shifting everything in your favor. What once resisted you, will now make way for you. What once ignored you, will start to notice. The people who overlooked your value, will watch your elevation, not from beside you, but from a distance they chose themselves. And you won't need revenge, child, your rise will speak loud enough. There is something sacred, in the way you're changing. You used to beg for understanding, now you walk in peace without explanation. You used to shrink yourself, for the comfort of others, now you expand to your full light, unapologetically. That is the evidence of your becoming, that is the mark of divine transformation. And Archangel Michael says, this glow on you, it's not just light, it's survival, it's testimony, it's your reward for not giving up, when everything in you wanted to. Tonight a door opened in the spirit. One you didn't knock on, but was opened because of your obedience. You'll notice how things feel lighter, how the confusion begins to dissolve, how sudden clarity will meet you, in quiet moments. That's your spirit finally aligning with its higher self. That's your destiny catching up to your present. That's heaven syncing your timeline with divine timing. Do not go back to what made you question your worth, don't reply to what tried to destroy your peace, don't entertain what already showed you, it wasn't sent by God. You're too anointed for that now. You've come too far, fought too long, grown too deep. This frequency you're on, it's not for everyone. That's why some people fell away, that's why certain places no longer feel like home, that's why your soul feels unfamiliar, even to yourself, because you are evolving. Archangel Michael reminds you, your tears watered a future, that is now blooming. Your prayers seeded a harvest, that is now breaking through the soil. Your faith, even when it was trembling, was strong enough to move heaven. And now as the hours pass, you'll feel the afterglow of this divine visitation. You may wake up with clarity, you may dream with symbols, you may feel a shift in conversations, in moods, in people around you. Pay attention. These are signs, these are confirmations, this is alignment made visible. You don't need to understand the entire plan, to keep walking. Just move with peace as your compass. Let discernment guide your choices. Let your healed intuition become your inner voice. You're no longer guessing who you are, you're remembering. You're no longer hoping for the light, you're becoming it. The version of you that doubted, that feared, that felt unworthy, is being laid to rest. And in its place, stands someone powerful, radiant, protected. God says, don't be surprised if what once drained you, now disgusts you. That's your growth speaking, that's your new boundaries forming. That's your soul saying, no more. And the beautiful thing, you don't have to explain this to anyone. The ones meant to walk with you now, they'll understand without words. They'll feel your energy, and recognize your healing. They'll match your peace, not disturb it. They'll mirror your depth, not fear it. And if they don't, bless them, release them, and move forward. This chapter of your life, was not written in haste. It was carved in the sacred silence, between your prayers and God's answers. Every page soaked in tears, every line inscribed by angels, every paragraph marked by purpose. You are not just in a new season, you are in divine narrative. You are the miracle your ancestors prayed for. The healing your lineage needed. The light your future generations will walk in. Archangel Michael says, walk boldly now. You are not the same, you carry fire in your spirit, you carry protection in your shadow, you carry purpose in your steps. And though the road ahead may be unfamiliar, it is not unsafe. It has been cleared, it has been blessed, it has been paved by your obedience, and guarded by your angels. You were never walking alone, not even once, and you won't start now. So breathe, let go of the last remnants of guilt, shame or fear. They are not yours to carry anymore. The cross you bore has become your crown, the pain you endured has become your wisdom, the silence you sat in has become your strength. And all of it, yes all of it, is being used for your rising. Look around, heaven isn't far, it's right here, moving in the details. Whispering through the wind, holding you in the hush of the night. Trust what you feel, trust the stillness, trust the timing. This isn't an ending, beloved, it's the unfolding of everything you were ever promised. And it has already begun. You're going to wake up tomorrow with different eyes. You'll notice light in places that used to feel dark, and you'll find beauty in the quiet spaces that once felt empty. You won't be searching for signs as desperately, because the signs will find you. They'll come in soft waves, through music, through a stranger's smile, through numbers that repeat, and moments that feel like déjà vu. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. They're how heaven whispers, yes, it's really happening. And in those moments, don't brush them off, let them settle in your spirit. Let them become your proof. You asked for evidence, and now it's showing up in everything. Your sensitivity is no weakness, it's your power. The reason you feel so deeply, is because your soul was designed to carry divine messages. And now the divine is speaking louder than ever. God says, I've waited for this alignment, I've waited for your yes, I've waited for your walls to fall, so my grace could flood in. And now here it is, your grace season. A time of release, a time of returning, a time when what was lost begins to knock on your door again, not to haunt you, but to heal you. Archangel Michael says, I've gone ahead of you. The battles you thought you had to fight alone, have already been won. You just haven't seen the victory yet, but it's done, it's finished. What you're walking into now is not a fight, it's a fulfillment. And you'll know it's true, because peace will greet you in unfamiliar places. Conversations will flow where there used to be tension, doors will open without you pushing. And the tears you once cried alone, will now become the rain, that waters your garden of new beginnings. You were not left behind, you were hidden for a holy purpose. God kept you covered until the right moment, because premature exposure could have destroyed what He was building inside you. But now the covering is lifting, the hidden season is ending. And what heaven has prepared in secret, is about to be revealed in public. Don't fear the spotlight, it's not about fame, it's about fulfillment. It's about the world finally seeing what heaven has always known: you are chosen, and the calling on your life cannot be silenced. You're going to start dreaming again, not the small dreams that fit into boxes, but the wild heaven-sized dreams that stretch your soul. And those dreams will be backed by divine timing. You won't have to strive the way you used to, you'll flow. You'll attract the right people, the right moments, the right opportunities, because your energy has shifted. Your vibration is aligned with the frequency of favor. And favor doesn't knock, it enters. Your healing won't just be internal, it will start affecting everything around you. The atmosphere in your home will change, the way people respond to you will change. Even the things that once tempted you will lose their grip, not because you're stronger, but because you're different. The old version of you no longer lives here, you've outgrown that pain, outloved that fear, outlived that story. God says, this new chapter will not repeat the old one. The patterns have been broken, the generational cycles have ended, the story is being rewritten. And this time it ends in glory. And when the enemy tries to remind you of your past, remind him of your promise. You are no longer who you were, and you never needed to be perfect to be powerful. Your scars are not shame, they are proof of survival. And survival, beloved, is sacred. Archangel Michael reminds you, you were never fighting for a place at the table. Heaven has already set one just for you. And what is meant for you will not miss you, not even if it's delayed, not even if others try to steal it, not even if you doubt it. This is divine territory now, and you are walking in it, fully awake, fully aware, fully anointed. You will begin to notice people falling away without explanation. Let them, you won't need closure, when God is your compass. Their exit is not your loss, it's your liberation. And in their absence, new connections will appear. Soul-aligned, spirit-led, divinely orchestrated. You'll wonder where they've been all your life, and heaven will whisper, they were waiting for your readiness. This next version of you is not one that hustles or chases. This version is magnetic, radiant, grounded. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere, without saying a word. Your presence will speak what your mouth no longer needs to. Your light will be a lighthouse to others, who've been lost at sea, and your journey, messy as it was, will become the map someone else needed. Don't be surprised when your gifts intensify. Your discernment will sharpen, your creativity will overflow, your ability to sense what's unspoken will feel overwhelming at first, but don't run from it, embrace it. You're not being haunted, you're being called. This sensitivity is heaven's way of tuning you in, to the things most people miss. You are now a vessel, a messenger, a conduit of something greater than yourself. And if the tears still come, let them. They're holy. They are washing away what no longer serves you. You don't have to apologize for feeling deeply, you were made to feel. That's where the messages begin, that's where healing starts, that's where God meets you, in the trembling, in the ache, in the silence after the storm. So tonight, don't rush into sleep with worry. Let your soul breathe, let your spirit expand, let your body rest, not in exhaustion, but in surrender. Tomorrow you rise, not with the weight of the world, but with the wings of purpose. You're not carrying burdens anymore, you're carrying blessings. You'll wake up not with dread, but with divine clarity. You'll know what to say, you'll know where to go, you'll know who to trust. And even when you don't know the full plan, you'll feel the peace that says, you don't have to, just take the next step. This is your unfolding, this is your alignment, this is your return. Everything inside you that felt scattered, is coming together now, not because of force, but because of faith. You believed, maybe just for a moment, but that was all heaven needed. Just a crack in the doubt, just a flicker in the dark, just enough space for the light to rush in. And now that it has, it's not leaving. It's just beginning. And now that you've been marked by this moment, don't rush away from it. Don't dismiss what you're feeling, as temporary or emotional. This isn't just a feeling, it's a shift. A shift in your energy, in your awareness, in your alignment with the divine. What was heavy before, will begin to feel lighter. What confused you, will begin to make sense. Not all at once, but piece by piece, breath by breath. That's how healing works, that's how divine timing moves. Slowly, gently, but unmistakably. And what once seemed like silence from God, will now start sounding like whispers, clear, timely, personal. Not because God wasn't speaking before, but because now your spirit is listening differently. You're not who you were before this message found you. There's something deeper in your gaze, something calmer in your presence. You've touched the edge of the eternal, and that touch left a mark. Not on your skin, but in your spirit. And from this point on, you'll recognize things that others miss. You'll sense when to move and when to wait. You'll feel when to speak and when to hold silence. That's what happens, when the Spirit begins to lead. God says, my voice is now your compass, my peace your home. And you'll start to see it play out in the smallest details, parking spots, closed doors, unexpected texts, random delays. None of it random, all of it guided. And when doubt tries to creep back in, when the old fears knock at your heart again, don't panic. That doesn't mean you've lost your progress, that doesn't mean you're slipping backwards. It only means your light has started to shine in darker places, and shadows don't like being exposed. Archangel Michael says, you are not alone in that battle. He is stationed beside you now, not just to fight for you, but to remind you who you are, when you forget. Every lie that once kept you small, every chain that once held you captive, he has been commissioned to break them, one by one. You'll feel the shifts in your relationships too. Some people will begin to fade, not because you're better, but because you're being repositioned. You're no longer available for the same kind of chaos, the same kind of drama. Your soul is craving peace now, real peace, holy peace. And those who aren't aligned with that frequency, will naturally fall away. Let them, don't cling to what God is trying to release. Don't grieve what heaven has deemed expired. Something new is growing in their place, connections rooted in purpose not performance. Friendships based in truth not transaction. Love that lifts not drains. Even your inner voice will start to sound different. Gentler, kinder. No longer repeating the harsh echoes of past wounds, but now speaking life, hope, and strength. That's not your imagination, that's your spirit maturing. That's God's truth becoming your inner narrative. And the more you lean into that voice, the more peace you'll find. You'll stop reacting the way you used to, you'll stop begging for things that aren't meant for you, you'll stop proving yourself to people who can't even see your worth. That's growth, that's wisdom, that's the fruit of divine intimacy. God says, I never asked you to be perfect, only present. And tonight you showed up. That was all heaven needed. That yes, silent or loud, opened up a portal for healing. And the healing didn't skip you, it found you right where you were. In your doubt, in your exhaustion, in your hunger for something real. It came for you, like water to a dry root. And now that you've been watered, you will bloom. Quietly, steadily, beautifully. Not for attention, not for applause, but because it's your season. And don't be surprised if old dreams start resurfacing. Visions you buried, passions you silenced, callings you shelved, they're waking up now. Because the part of you that gave up, is no longer in charge. The part of you that believes, is driving now. And that belief is dangerous to darkness. That belief is magnetic to miracles. That belief makes you a threat to the enemy's agenda. Archangel Michael says, your belief is your weapon, your peace is your shield, your presence is your power. You're not waiting for the miracle anymore, you are the miracle in motion. And there will be moments ahead, when it feels too quiet again. When the warmth of this message starts to fade, and life feels loud. In those moments, remember what you felt here. Recall the stillness, revisit the sacred. Let your memory testify, when your emotions try to confuse you. Anchor yourself to this divine encounter. You didn't imagine it, you didn't make it up. This was a visitation, this was heaven leaning in. You'll notice your desires shifting too. The things you used to crave, may start feeling empty. The goals you once chased, might seem shallow. That's not confusion, it's clarity. God is realigning your appetite, with your assignment. You weren't created just to survive, you were designed to shine. And now that you've tasted the truth, counterfeit things will no longer satisfy. That's how you'll know the transformation is real. And as you go about your day tomorrow, look for the little things. The soft glimmers, the divine winks. A stranger's smile, a song at the right moment, a verse that speaks straight to your heart. Those are not coincidences, that's your new language with God. That's how He'll remind you, I'm still here, I never left. And each time you receive those signs, say thank you. Gratitude keeps the channel open, humility keeps the flow fresh. You don't have to strive anymore, you don't have to push, prove, or pretend. Just walk, just rest, just listen. Let God lead, let the angels cover, let your soul breathe. You've stepped into a rhythm that doesn't burn you out, it builds you up. You've entered a current that doesn't drown you, it carries you. This is the flow of grace, the river of the Spirit, the cadence of divine timing. And even if the world around you remains chaotic, your spirit doesn't have to match it. You can be the calm in the storm now. You can be the light in dark places. You can be the anchor for others, who are drifting. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you know who holds you. God says, you are no longer trying to do life alone, you are walking hand in hand with heaven now. This was not just another message, this was a moment of activation, a sacred invitation. And you said yes. That yes shifted something. That yes made room for miracles. That yes rewrote tomorrow. The journey ahead won't be perfect, but it will be guided. And that's all you need. You're not lost, you're led. You're not broken, you're becoming. You're not behind, you're right on time. And the angels rejoice, not because you're flawless, but because you're willing. Not because you've arrived, but because you've awakened. That's all heaven needed, a crack in the shell, a whisper of surrender, a moment of belief. And now nothing will ever be the same again. And still the heavens lean closer. Because when you whisper yes to healing, even quietly, even through tears, the divine realms take notice. That one sacred yes carries more weight than 1,000 loud declarations. It tells heaven you're ready, ready not to be perfect, but to be present. Ready not to perform, but to receive. Ready not to prove yourself, but to remember who you truly are. And the moment your heart agreed, something ancient shifted. Like a key turning in a lock, you didn't even know existed. And suddenly, what once felt heavy, begins to lift. You are not imagining it. That lightness in your chest, that warmth on your skin with no visible source, that unexplainable calm, in the middle of chaos. That is the movement of heaven around you. You have entered a protected space now, a chamber of divine recalibration. God says, I am reintroducing you to yourself. Not the version that was shaped by trauma, rejection or fear, but the true version. The radiant one, the joyful one, the one that sings, even before the miracle arrives. Do you feel it, that quiet invitation to exhale? That's not your imagination, that's your spirit recognizing safety. The angels are already moving. And Archangel Michael says, this is your appointed time. You do not need to strive for access, the gates are open. You do not need to beg for favor, it has already found you. Your heart, worn but willing, has become a signal in the spirit realm. And that signal has been answered. The help you've prayed for is arriving, in ways you never expected. Through people you didn't anticipate, in moments you didn't plan, and through shifts you couldn't orchestrate. Heaven doesn't move on your timeline, it moves on your surrender. And you, beloved, have finally surrendered, not in defeat, but in divine trust. That is what summoned the intervention. That is what caught heaven's attention. Not a perfect plan, not flawless faith, but your willingness to keep breathing, keep standing, keep loving, even when you didn't feel seen. And now the reward is unfolding. Slowly, steadily, gently. Because God is not rushing this, He's restoring it. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. Piece by sacred piece, your spirit is being strengthened. Your roots are growing deeper, your clarity is becoming sharper. Where once there was confusion, peace is settling in. Where once there was fear, wisdom is rising. Where once there was silence, divine guidance is speaking. The voice of God may not be loud, but it's always clear, and it's saying now, I have never left you. Even when you felt abandoned, I was holding every broken piece. And that's why you're still here, that's why your light never went out. Because even in the darkness, heaven refused to give up on you. You are stepping into sacred memory now. The memory of your soul, before the pain, before the betrayal, before the world told you who you had to be. You are remembering your divine origin. You are realigning with the reason you were created. And this remembering, it's healing you. Not just emotionally, but spiritually. Not just in the mind, but in the marrow. You're not just recovering, you're rising. And this rise will be gentle, it will be holy, it will be unlike anything you've known before. There will be moments in the coming days, when you feel suddenly emotional. Let it come, let the tears fall. That's not weakness, that's release. It's the weight of years being lifted. The invisible burden finally finding an exit. Don't question it, don't rush to explain it. Just be in it, allow it. Because every tear you shed is a prayer, every breath you take now is sacred. You are in transition, not in trouble. There is no going back from here. The shift has already happened. The old you is no longer in charge. That voice of fear that used to rule your decisions, it's losing power. That need to please everyone at your own expense, it's fading. That habit of settling for less than you deserve, it's crumbling. A new authority is rising within you, the authority of divine identity. You are no longer a victim of life, you are a co-creator with heaven. And your path will reflect that. The signs will multiply. You'll see numbers, symbols, dreams and confirmations you can't ignore. People will speak truth to you, they didn't even know you needed. Doors you never knocked on will open. And the ones that closed without warning, you'll realize now they were a gift. Because God says, I don't withhold to punish, I withhold to protect. And when the time is right, I release what aligns with your destiny. That time has begun, that release has started. And your only job now is to stay in agreement with it. Walk softly but surely. Speak kindly to yourself, rest when your body asks for it. Say yes only when peace confirms it. You don't need to fight anymore, you don't need to earn your worth. You were born worthy, you were chosen before you were even formed. And what God starts He sustains, what He touches He transforms. And what He blesses no one can curse. So hold your head high, not with pride, but with quiet confidence. Not because of who you are on your own, but because of who walks with you now. The King of Heaven calls you His, the angels surround you, Archangel Michael goes before you. And your future has already been rewritten in divine ink. This is more than comfort, this is confirmation. Your life is not just changing, it's ascending. Stay close to the stillness, stay close to the voice that brought you here. Let heaven keep guiding every step, and watch how the impossible becomes your reality. Yes, even now heaven is still near. The presence that wrapped itself around you tonight, is not fading, it's deepening. The shift that began while you were reading, is still unfolding. Layers are being peeled back, truths are being revealed. The quiet whisper you feel in your chest, that's your spirit finally breathing freely again. You're not just being comforted, you're being prepared. Something has been unlocked in you, and the days ahead will show you what it means to walk in this new level of light. You may begin to notice signs again, but now they'll feel different. Not desperate signals or mysterious hints you have to chase, but affirmations, confirmations, echoes of what your spirit already knows. A feather where it shouldn't be, a song that speaks directly to your situation, a number that keeps repeating, a sudden peace that floods your body out of nowhere. These aren't small things anymore, these are holy reminders that you are in alignment with the divine plan. Your path has not been forgotten, in fact, it has just been freshly written again, with new grace, new mercy, and new assignments. And yes, you have assignments now. Don't let that scare you. You've already been prepared for this, through every tear you've cried, every setback you endured, every delay you questioned. Nothing was wasted, not one moment, not 1 ounce of your suffering went unnoticed by heaven. You were not being punished, you were being forged. You were being refined. You were being made ready. And tonight that readiness has been activated. You are not who you used to be, not even yesterday. And the people who come back into your life now, will sense that something in you has shifted. Don't shrink, don't dim your light, to fit into places you've outgrown. You were made to rise now, and rise you shall. Archangel Michael says, I have walked the perimeter of your home, I have cleared the air, scattered the shadows, marked the doorposts with heaven's seal. Nothing unclean shall enter, and nothing holy shall leave without purpose. You are under divine protection. Your life is no longer vulnerable to the same attacks that once broke you. So if you feel the urge to clean, to rearrange, to open windows and let fresh air in, that's not just you being practical. That's your soul responding to the spiritual clearing that took place tonight. You are in sync now with divine rhythms. You will begin to feel things before they happen, to sense shifts before others even speak. That is spiritual discernment awakening in you. You are no longer blind to the unseen. Your eyes have been anointed, your ears are tuned, your heart finally is listening. And in the listening you will hear God speak. Not always in words, sometimes in silence. Sometimes in a child's laughter, or the way sunlight touches your face. Sometimes through the gentle nudge to reach out to someone, or a deep knowing not to take a certain path. That's not anxiety, that's not overthinking, that's guidance. That's the Holy Spirit walking beside you, gently but firmly. You'll begin to dream again, vivid dreams that feel like messages. That's not imagination, that's your spirit traveling while your body rests. Pay attention, keep a notebook near your bed. Some of those dreams will be instructions, some will be healing, some will be glimpses of what's to come. You've entered a season where heaven is more talkative, more interactive. Why? Because now you're finally quiet enough to hear, still enough to receive. There will be moments where emotion overcomes you out of nowhere, let it. That is old energy leaving your body. That's trauma breaking loose. That's grief you didn't know you were still carrying, being released in sacred waves. Don't judge the process, don't rush it, don't numb it. Let the holy tears come. Each one is a cleansing drop of your rebirth. Every emotion is proof that you are alive, connected, spiritually responsive. And when the world around you seems loud again, when old patterns try to re-enter, remember this night. Recall the stillness, call back the peace. Reclaim the truth that you are not who you used to be. You are no longer easy to shake, not easily swayed. You have spiritual armor now, you have holy backup, you have the full attention of heaven on your side. You are being guided, covered, protected, and set apart. Archangel Michael says, I have whispered your name before the throne, I have declared your breakthrough to the heavens, I have fought off what was meant to distract and destroy you. Now walk forward, not in fear, but in sacred confidence. Your steps are ordered, your journey is blessed. And God says, you were never forgotten, you were never abandoned, you were always mine. Let that sink in. Always, even when your voice trembled in prayer. Even when you cursed the sky. Even when you felt numb, distant, lost. God never walked away. He was there in the silence, in the ache, in the long nights and hollow mornings. And now He's revealing Himself again, not to punish, but to remind you, who you are, whose you are, what you carry. And you do carry something, a fire, a frequency, a light that cannot be duplicated. You may not feel like a warrior, but you are. You've survived things that should have taken you out. And now you're not just surviving, you're rising. Rebuilding, renewing, restoring. And as you rise, you become a light for others. That is your quiet ministry. Your healed presence becomes a healing space for others. You won't always need to say much. Your energy will speak. Your calm will shift atmospheres. Your peace will interrupt chaos. Your love will be the proof of God, in someone else's darkness. You will recognize divine connections now. Some new, some returning, but all intentional. They will meet you where you are, and mirror who you are becoming. Let them in. Don't cling to isolation. Yes, solitude was sacred, but now relationship is redemptive. The right people will not drain you, they will pour into you, and you into them. That's how heaven builds family, through divine appointments. And when fear tries to creep in again, because it will, remember this night. Speak truth to the fear. Speak identity over insecurity. Speak peace over panic. You are not a victim, you are a vessel. And vessels don't break when they're held, in the hands of the Creator. Yes, beloved, you are still being held. Right now, in this breath, in this moment. Let that truth settle deep. Because it's not over, this isn't the end. This is the turning of the page. And the next chapter, it's going to carry the echo of heaven's promise. You are safe now. You are seen now. You are held now. And you are ready now. And though you may still have questions, and though not every answer has arrived yet, your spirit is no longer desperate for control. You've entered a new trust now, the kind that doesn't need all the details to take the next step. Because something inside you knows, heaven is already 10 steps ahead. Archangel Michael has cleared paths you haven't even seen yet. He stepped into timelines on your behalf, removing blockages, redirecting what the enemy meant for harm, and placing divine detours exactly where they need to be. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every delay wasn't denial, it was divine timing aligning perfectly with your growth. You're not behind, you've been prepared. You'll find yourself weeping at strange times now, not from sadness, but from recognition. Your soul is catching up to what your spirit already knows, you're not walking alone anymore. You never were. Those late nights when you cried into your pillow, someone heard you. Those moments you whispered, "I can't do this anymore," someone responded. Maybe you didn't hear it then, but you're hearing it now. Yes you can, yes you will, because I am with you. That's God, that's the voice that never gave up on you. And now your body, your mind, your heart, they're all aligning to that truth. You'll notice your energy changing. The things that used to exhaust you, won't have access to you anymore. The people who used to drain you, won't recognize you now, because you're no longer standing in the same spiritual frequency. You've risen, you've been elevated. Heaven didn't just brush against you, you've been marked by it, transformed by it. You don't just carry light, you are light. A walking portal of grace, a vessel for divine revelation. And while the world around you may continue to rush, and worry, and scramble, you'll walk in stillness. Not passivity, but sacred peace. You'll know when to speak and when to stay silent. When to move and when to remain still. Because now your actions are led by divine prompting, not fear. You've stopped reacting, and you've started responding. Responding to heaven, responding to the deep knowing, that you are being guided always. You may even begin to feel a new sense of purpose, stirring in your chest. Not loud, not frantic, just a quiet holy knowing. That you were born for more than just survival. That your story carries power. That your pain has turned into prophecy. That what you've been through wasn't wasted, it was preparation. Because someone else needs your voice. Someone else is drowning in the same storm you've already walked through. And now because you've seen the light, you can lead them out. Don't be surprised if people begin to ask you, where your peace comes from. Don't be surprised if they look at you differently. They're not just seeing you, they're seeing the light within you. Let them see it, let it shine. Not from pride, but from purpose. You don't have to preach to be divine. Your presence is the sermon now. Your love is the message. Your healing is the testimony. And when doubt comes knocking again, because it will, remember this. You are not who you were. You are not who the world said you had to be. You are who God says you are. Chosen, called, covered, held. There is no failure in your future, only refinement. Even your mistakes are being woven into miracles. Nothing is wasted in the hands of God. Nothing. So breathe deeply. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart be soft again. You don't need to brace for impact anymore. The storm has passed. A new day has begun. Not because everything is perfect, but because now you know you are not walking into the unknown alone. You walk with angels, you walk with Michael, you walk with the one who called light out of darkness, and still does it every day within you. Miracles will become your new normal. Divine interruptions will become your new rhythm. You'll wake up with new ideas, new strength, new vision. Not from striving, but from surrender. Not from hustle, but from holy alignment. This is the sacred ease that flows, when heaven is your compass. This is what happens when God writes your story. So stay soft, stay open, stay listening. Not every moment will feel loud and powerful, some will feel like a whisper. But don't underestimate the quiet. The most life-changing revelations often come in stillness. That's where you'll meet the divine again and again, in your breath, in your stillness, in your being. You are becoming. Every day, every moment, every breath. You are stepping into the fullness of what was always meant for you. No more shrinking, no more hiding, no more pretending to be less than the radiant soul God created you to be. It's safe to shine now. It's safe to be seen. Because you are no longer alone in your light. Heaven walks with you. And when you forget again, and you will, because you are human, come back to this moment. Come back to these words. Read them slowly. Let them wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let them remind you of what your soul already knows. You are loved, you are guarded, you are chosen, you are never walking alone again. Amen.